And welcome back to Morning Talk. You're listening to KSVC 980 AM and 100.5 FM. Porter Huntsman alongside with you today, and it's time now for our Radio Roundup interview. And joining me this morning, we have the Sevier County School District Superintendent Kate Douglas and new principal from Cedar Ridge High School, Mark Stewart. And thank you guys for taking the time to join us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having us on.
Pleasure to be here.
I'm glad to have you on today, and lots of things to discuss, so let's jump right into it. Superintendent, you mentioned that you wanted to talk about some of the upcoming tournaments here coming to the area.
Yeah, we're just wanted to kind of remind the community and especially local businesses out there. We wanted to thank all of the businesses that support the tournaments, the preview tournaments that happen up at Sevier Valley Center every fall. We just had a very successful volleyball tournament last weekend. It's not hard to tell when tournaments are in town because you see a lot of buses, you see a lot of kids running around, and our businesses, restaurants, motels are full, which is exactly what we need this time of year. So it's a real blessing. We appreciate the support of all of our local businesses. We do have the 1A girls basketball tournament is the first basketball tournament coming up on November 19th and 20th. The 2A through 4A girls tournament is December 17th and 18th. And then we go into the boys 2A through 4A tournament December 3rd and 4th. And to wrap it up, we have the 1A boys tournament, which is December 10th and 11th. So just wanted to remind everyone out there to support the tournaments. If there are any businesses that are listening today, we can always use more support. So just give me a call the Sevier School District office. This tournament is actually a three-way opportunity. It's hosted by the Rotary Club, the Chamber of Commerce, and Sevier School District, and we really do it as in a joint effort to bring people into the county. I know there are several restaurant owners, motel owners, business owners in general that tell me they would likely have to close down in the winter months if it wasn't for the tournament. So we want to keep these going. I want to give a shout out to Kevin Arrington up at the Sevier Valley Center. He does an excellent job managing and helping support the tournaments as well, and Snow College. So it's a great opportunity. Also this month it's Principal Appreciation Month. So wanted to give a shout out to all of our amazing principals at each of our 12 schools and just remind parents and students to thank a principal today. Take a minute and write a thank you card, or stop in, make a batch of cookies and stop in and visit principals and tell them thanks for what they do. Sometimes it is a little bit of a thankless job. They are always in the background working so hard to support our schools, and they just aren't thanked enough for the work that they do. We have some of the best principals in the state, and they just do a great job. We're very, very fortunate to have who we have leading our schools, and without a effective principal, none of our schools would be successful. So I wanted to give a shout out to them.
Yeah, great leadership here throughout central Utah when it comes to the principals. And again, great appreciation for the hard work they do. So you brought someone with you today. We got Mark Stewart here with us as well. So Mark, why don't you introduce yourself to our listeners this morning?
Yes, Mark Stewart. I'm the principal at Cedar Ridge High School. I've spent the last 18 years in the elementary schools, so this is quite a jump forward for me. Finally graduated from the elementary program, and now they're having me in the high school. But it's great to be there at Cedar Ridge. Cedar Ridge is an awesome school that really offers a lot of opportunity, not just for our high school age students, but also for our adult ed folks that are working towards either graduation or a GED in some sort. We also oversee the jail and youth in custody as well. A lot of people don't know that, but we have a lot of people that are participating in these programs, whether at the high school level or in these other areas.
All right. Well, great. Anything else you'd like to share with us this morning, or any questions do you have for him, Superintendent?
I wanted to say that every year I attend all 4 of our high school graduations at the end of the year. And they're all in one day. It's kind of a long day, but it's a special day. And the Cedar Ridge High School graduation is one of my very favorite things to do every single year as a superintendent. It's awesome to see those kids achieve and graduate and get their diplomas. For some of them, it's kind of a last chance. They've worked hard, they've earned credit at whatever high school they were in. We have a lot of Cedar Ridge High students that actually come from other school districts, from other schools throughout the state, and then many of them come right from our 3 attendance areas, South Sevier, North Sevier, and Richfield. and they just needed, something's come up in their life where it's caused a hurdle or difficulty, and they've overcome that and achieved their diploma. And it's awesome to hear their stories and see their faces. And it's a great school. It just provides, like Mr. Stewart said, just options. It's a little bit more flexible. If they've struggled or missed out on a credit for one reason or another in their earlier years as freshmen or sophomores, it provides credit recovery in a very, very flexible environment. It's amazing, and these are great kids. It's so fun to get to know them and meet them. I know that's one of the things Mr. Stewart's enjoying the most about his job is once you start to know these kids, you love them, and it's a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, they're absolutely amazing. I absolutely love the kids there at Cedar Ridge High School. They bring a lot of character and a lot of personality with them. A lot of them struggle with certain things. Attendance, I think, is going to be talked about here shortly. Is one of the things that we're tackling right now. What we want to do is give these kids the best show in town and provide opportunity and hope that there is plenty of career opportunities waiting for them. So we're trying to look at like the CT Center, Snow College, different businesses that are around to come in or else we could actually leave the school and go on just a local field trip and demonstrate to the students that there are many opportunities that are out there in the workforce for them. A lot of them are college and career oriented. So we want to make sure that we emphasize those opportunities for our kids. That definitely gives a lot of purpose behind graduation. So as they find purpose and a good reason to be there and get their studies done and get to that graduation moment, they definitely will have those chances later on in life.
Yeah, as the more I've gotten to know some of these kids, our high school students, you realize that the hurdles that they've had to overcome, they weren't self-inflicted. A lot of times these are outside, influences on their lives that just they pop up and it causes them to lose credit or they struggle with attendance, and then before they know it, they're behind. And it's not every time due to them. They're outside influences that cause these hurdles, and this just gives them an opportunity to catch back up. We've found, like Mr. Stewart was saying, students, especially high school students, when they attach themselves to a career or college goal, and we always say college isn't what it used to be. It's not 4 years every time. College is 1 year, 2 year, 4 or more. So we have students that want to go well beyond bachelor's degrees, and we have a lot of students right here in our valley that want to get a 1-year certificate or a 2-year certificate here at Snow College, and they start those classes at our CT Center, and they're making really good money with a 1-year certificate doing something they love. A lot of our kids want to use their hands. They want to get out. I think of mechanics or welders, machinists. There's so many wonderful opportunities, just to name a few. And we found that when students are attached to those careers or college readiness classes, they succeed. They get excited. They're motivated. I say it all the time, the greatest motivator in the world, and it's proven through research, is success. So the more opportunities that we have to provide students with success, the more motivated they'll become. And, that's what we do. That's what we try to do, especially at Cedar Ridge, is just provide successful opportunities so that can breed that motivation and they can get excited.
And lucky to live in an area where there are so many different paths that
Yes.
they can look down just in high school, still being able to go a lot of different directions.
You're absolutely right. It's amazing. We had Dustin Shakespeare on here a few months ago, and you talk about the number of pathways that are available. And you can do anything. The sky's the limit. Whatever students are interested in, there's a career available. We've obviously tried to keep our career choices and pathways directly related to work. So if there's not a job available, then we likely don't offer that pathway, but that's common sense. One other thing, I know we're starting to run out of time, but that I wanted to hit on was the issue that we're having with attendance and chronic absences in the school district. And this is a nationwide problem, but we are really struggling with just attendance and students missing too much school. Obviously, they struggle in their learning and being successful in their learning if they're not in school. So just a reminder to all of our parents out there, it's probably one of the most important things you can do for your child is get them to school, get them excited about attending school. We're doing everything we can possibly think of at the school level to change and improve our culture, to watch watch for ways to support students in their emotional learning and social learning, as well as improve our grading practices. We want, like Mr. Stewart said, we want to be the best show in town. We want to be a place where kids want to be. We've had a real focus on relationships and changing our culture, but we can't teach students unless they're there. And I don't know if parents, I'm just going to share a few facts on chronic absenteeism. But over 8 million U.S. students miss nearly a month of school each year. That's a lot of kids missing a lot of school. Absenteeism and its ill effects start early. So 1 in 10 kindergarten and first grade students are chronically absent, which is very scary if you think about how important those early years are when it comes to literacy and mathematics and those basic academic skills. To miss that much school just puts them on a path to failure. Poor attendance can influence whether children read proficiently by the end of 3rd grade, and most of these are pretty obvious. By 6th grade, this one's the one that scares me the most. By 6th grade, chronic absences become a leading indicator that a student will drop out of high school. So it starts young. We've got to get our kids in school often, and obviously we know if they miss a little bit of school, we can work around that. But this next fact, research shows that missing 10% of school, or 18 days in most school systems, negatively affects students' academic performance. That's just 2 days a month. So it adds up quickly. If you miss more than 18 days in a school year, you're gonna struggle academically. And again, these are pretty obvious. When a student improves their attendance rates, they improve their academic prospects and chances for graduating. And then the last fact, attendance improves when schools engage students and parents in positive ways, and when schools provide mentors for chronically absent students. So that's what we're doing. We do home visits. We have refocus coordinators and mentors that are assigned to students that are chronically absent. We even have teachers that are assigned to specific students in all of our high schools, just to say, hey, I noticed you weren't here yesterday. What can we do to help you? It's pretty inspiring to see principals and assistant principals and counselors going out and visiting and taking treats to students and encouraging them to come to school. It's that important to us that we've got to change our culture to that of support and intervention, and get our students in school every day.
All right. Well, once again this morning, joining me is Superintendent Kay Douglas and Cedar Ridge High School Principal Mark Stewart. Thank you two so much for taking the time to join us this morning.
Yeah, thanks again for having us on.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for our radio roundup interview for today.